sleep face, and we're in Chicago.
Are they already in Chicago?
The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
What's up, everybody? You are tuning into the Voice of San Joaquin and Stockton, into Seriously Funny with Thug Dork, Reggie Galindo, and Andre, and today's guest, Tim DiVincenzi.
Yeah, you said it right. What's up? What's up, Dre? What's up, Tim?
What it do?
Welcome, Stockton. Tune in. Yeah. What's up? Anyways, tonight, I just want to send a shout out to a couple people. Bridge Bay Insurance, Stockton Monuments, Javier Smog Time, Sharp Cuts in Lodi, Tiger Den Kennels,
Southern Tradition Clothing,
Tombstone Run,
California Credit Hero,
who else, Dre? Help me out.
I'm trying. You got to go on.
Oh, Gabe Robles Automotive, Robles Automotives. Robles Automotive, and yeah, and Con Air. Don't forget about Coach's Con Air. Is going down. Yeah. Coaches extraordinaire. Hey, anyways, check it out. Tonight we got my sponsor. I don't know if you guys know I'm in recovery. I'm throwing it out there. I'm breaking my own anonymity. Yeah. I've been in recovery. Next month, April 10th, I celebrate 12 years. 12 years. No crystal meth, buddy. Yeah, it was bad. I wasn't on no radio show. I thought I was on a radio show. When I was high on meth, I thought I heard radio waves. I thought I was on a radio show, but I was not on a radio show. I wasn't on a podcast. I was on a meth mask. I was like talking to myself. I had other people talking to me. I was in the studio every day. Like,
You was in a radio show. You was in a radio show.
So tonight, my very special guest is my sponsor, the guy who guides me, that helps me, Mr. Tim DiVincenzi. Did I say it right?
Tim D.
DiVincenzi.
DiVincenzi. He said it all like
Tim
mafia.
D's
DiVincenzi.
Yeah.
Tim D. We got Dre in the house.
What's up?
Break his anonymity too. That's my brother in recovery, man.
That's right.
That's right. So we were happy.
Rolling.
I want to send a shout out to, I don't know if they're watching, Frank Ortega. I see you watching. I want to send a shout out to, I just met my sister, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my sister, we were separated at birth. She's older than me. And we just found each other on Ancestry.com. Wow. And I met my niece, who's only 9 years younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I met them, and I got to hang out with them. So shout out to them. They're amazing people. It was a surreal experience. It was awesome. So Tim, let's talk about you, man. The focus is on you. So you're a salesman, right? You're a salesman?
Yes, sir.
That's cool, man. So you're out there selling every day?
Oh, yeah, I was out there today, man. I just took a nap.
You just took a nap?
Had to, yeah.
I don't think Tim does that much work, though, man. Every time I talk to him, he's taking a nap or having a coffee or something. That's what kind of, how can I get that job? But okay, let's go back a little ways. Where were you raised at?
I was born in Castro Valley.
Castro Valley. I thought you were going to say Castro District.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the difference.
No, I've never been
I don't know
over
the
there.
difference. I don't know the difference. I don't know.
Oh, Castro? No, yeah.
So you're in Castro Valley?
Castro Valley. Born in Castro Valley at the hospital there. Lived in San Lorenzo.
San Lorenzo. Shout out to the Bay Area.
Yeah, with my aunt, my mom, my dad, my grandpa. All of us live on the same street.
In one trailer?
No. No trailers.
Oh, you guys have trailers?
Houses.
Houses, damn. You guys in the Bay Area, you guys are doing it big.
Yeah, not really. You know, they're small houses.
The DiVincenzis. They have a big house. All we have is a trailer. So you grew up there, and you grew up there. What was it like growing up? What was your childhood like? You have a normal childhood?
Childhood was good. It's good, man. Good
Did you
family.
get Christmas presents and bikes and all that
Yeah, I got
stuff?
Christmas presents, yeah. Yeah.
So let's speed it up a little bit. So you had a good childhood. You grew up in the Bay Area. You got bikes. You got Christmas presents, right? Why did you start doing drugs?
Because of the Christmas presents.
Because of the Christmas presents. This is too much.
No. So check this out. So when I was living in San Lorenzo.
San Lorenzo.
San Lorenzo.
Is that Castro Valley?
No, that's in San Lorenzo.
Okay.
Yeah. My all my uncles are truck drivers, right? So
Right.
my dad was in a truck accident and
Okay.
passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Sorry to
ran
hear that.
over. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
How old were you when your dad passed away?
I was just about 1 year old.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so things changed.
Okay.
Yeah, things changed at that point. So mother eventually remarried, and then we moved around a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So we lived in Modesto. We lived in
Modesto.
Milpitas, and then we moved out here to Stockton.
Did you say Melpinas?
Milpitas. Pet. Milpitas. Yeah.
Oh, Melpitas. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I heard
Milpitas,
Melpinas.
right.
Okay.
So in that process, a lot of good times in all those areas except Modesto. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Right,
Modesto. I didn't
Motown.
like
Shout
Modesto
out to
much.
Motown.
Yeah, Motown was all right.
Palladium.
Huh?
No, Palladium.
Yeah. So I don't know. So moving around a lot, you like that?
Yeah. So you
Talk with my hands. I'm Italian,
Yeah,
man.
that's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're moving around and stuff. And what led you to drugs? How old were you the first time you got high on drugs?
That was in Milpitas. Yeah, smoked some weed,
Wow.
and I was probably in 7th grade, maybe.
Damn, that's young.
7th, 8th
13
grade.
years old.
Yeah.
Were you a hippie back then?
All
the leaves
well, check
are
this out,
brown
man.
and
So,
the sky is gray.
so I had platform shoes,
Oh, wow.
long
wow.
hair.
You was the shizzle. Platform shoes and long hair.
Long hair. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
What, I just can't imagine you like that. That's just when you
yeah,
said
yeah,
that, I was
yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah. They called me Tiny Tim. Yeah. I was the youngest of 3 boys, right? And my older brother was called Big Devo, and my middle brother was I just Devo, I guess, and I was Little Devo.
Okay.
Yeah. Good community to grow up in, though. Milpitas was fun,
Yeah,
man. That was back when it was they had the Ford plant, they had
Yeah.
all families, lots of parks, lots of playing, stuff like that. But yeah, that's when I first started smoking weed. Just kind of
Take the edge off.
there was no edge there. It was just to fit in, probably.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So which ended up leading to.
Well, that led to in my early business life and success and money
Right. How old were you?
into cocaine.
Cocaine, the rich man's high.
Cocaine. Yeah.
Cocaine.
Crack cocaine.
It wasn't crack when you did it though.
Yeah.
It was called bass rock.
Yeah, bass
Free
rock.
bass.
Yeah,
Free bass.
Free bass.
Yeah, crack was after you got.
They had
clean.
some crack too.
Yeah. Oh,
you
can
Birdie
still
hit the
buy
crack
that
scene.
stuff or wax. You get either one.
Oh, wax or lemon heads. Soap.
Some T-roll.
Blue.
Hurry up,
Some T-roll.
He brought it back. He brought it back.
Yeah, they
T-roll.
say, hey, the cops are coming. You know you got burnt. You know what I'm saying?
Who needs soap,
You're
man?
You're still trying to smoke it though.
Trying to smoke and cry like Pookie on New Jack City. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
long did you use cocaine for, man?
Oh man, too long. I got clean at 29.
You got clean at 29 years old?
Yeah.
That's how young you were?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so for about maybe
29
9
years old.
years,
You was a young man when you got
30,
clean.
30, 29, somewhere in there. Yeah, 30, 29, end of 29. Yeah, I'm 59.
So you only
I'm
used
50,
you didn't use that long then.
No.
Well, that's long enough. Believe
Long
me.
enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you
I heard
say-
a story you tell sometimes. You said you were somewhere.
Here we
You was
go, the
out
roof.
outside on someone's
Rooftop.
Roof or something? I
Yeah.
remember that
So
story.
I when I moved to Stockton, I moved to the north side.
Right.
I went to Lincoln High School.
Okay.
I actually played on the basketball team at Lincoln,
Okay.
the varsity basketball team.
Okay. J. Will.
Yeah, and yeah. So what was I saying?
You tell me about the time you
Rooftop.
caught up on
He
someone's
went-
Oh
rooftop.
yeah. That
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Well, that was in the definitely the end of the progression of my thing, and I ended up on a roof in South Stockton.
How do you end up on a roof from going to Lincoln High School,
Yeah,
being Italian?
yeah.
How do you end up
Good parents.
on a roof on Southside Stockton? That's just
That would be
crazy.
too much crack.
You're on the roof like you can't see me.
Yeah.
In Debo's chicken coop.
Yeah. I was in shorts like the you
You were in shorts.
No, I was in a pair of pants, just like
Oh.
these right now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that was it.
That was.
I had
man.
pants, and that was it.
That was
How
your
did you
bottom-
get
was
on
the
that
last-
roof?
I
Yeah.
jumped up on the roof.
Damn.
You
I
jumped
got up on the
the
fence.
Oh,
They got,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
flat
yeah,
tops
yeah,
over
yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
So I jumped up on the fence and I got on the roof. Dude comes out of the house. He said, "Hey, what the hell you doing on my roof?" I said, "Well," I said, "they're trying to get me."
They are. Damn.
Yeah,
but did you
see
say
'em?
it? Did you say it that calmly?
No.
Oh, okay.
So dude was,
Yeah.
Rooftop Tim.
yeah. And anyway,
The roof is on
yeah.
fire.
Guy threw me a coat, told me to come down. I said, "I ain't coming down."
Why'd you throw you a coat? Were you naked?
No, I wasn't naked. I had a pair of pants on.
Threw you a coat.
Yeah, so that's my story, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got.
But
And you
ain't
came
nothing
out
like
off
that
the
no
roof.
more.
You got clean. You got clean.
I got clean eventually, yeah.
What made you make the decision? What was going through your mind? Because I always like to know this. When people decide to stop doing drugs, what did it take for you? What was going on? How did you get to that that place?
Well, for me, I had 3 children at the time,
Okay.
and I was just, I was really ashamed of myself, man.
Right.
So my father died when I was very
Right,
young, and
right.
my mother had 4 children, right?
Right.
And my mother always made sure that we had, food to eat, that we were at church every Sunday, that we
Okay.
had good clothes to wear, and we always had a nice place to live, and it was
Right.
always clean. And,
Okay.
and that was my bottom, man. My kids, I was running them all over the place, and I just wanted to do better, man.
Did you make that decision right after the rooftop?
Nah.
No. So you kept
Rooftop-
going. So
the
you kept
roof-
going a little bit.
Yeah, the rooftop
Okay.
was probably
One of the events that led
yeah
to
one
that.
of the events,
Yeah.
but I probably was on and off trying to stop for the next 3 months or so, and then I ran out one night and I woke up that morning and I called my family, and I said I was done, right? And so what ends up happening is they said that they were at the Parkside facility that previous night, and then I needed to call them, and I ended up in treatment that night.
Nice.
Okay.
You went to a
next
drug
day.
treatment program?
Yeah,
What program did you go to?
Parkside.
28 days.
Parkside. That's for rich folks.
Yeah. No, I ain't rich. So anyway,
Parkside.
yeah, Parkside is behavioral health now, and
Oh, it was
Yeah.
right here in Stockton?
yeah, right here in
California
Stockton.
Street?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I stayed there
okay.
20 days,
Oh,
and then they
20
kicked
days.
me out, right?
They said you're good.
Well, they said that my insurance didn't cover crack.
They said no ticket, no laundry. No ticket, no laundry. 20 days. That's all you get.
They said you had to be an alcoholic to get the treatment. So,
Oh, wow.
so somehow between that time and the next day, they put me in some outpatient program. I did that. I had already been to Narcotics Anonymous meetings and
NA. Shout out to
Yeah.
NA.
and I started going to meetings, and I was doing an outpatient program. Walked right out of that treatment facility. I walked into the treatment facility homeless. I walked out with a house. I met a guy in treatment. So this is kind of how God works.
Right.
Met a guy in treatment that had a house but couldn't afford to pay for it. So I moved into that house and ended up reuniting with my kids and my wife, and that's a whole nother story, what happened there. But from that point forward, I jumped right back into work. I've been in the same industry for,
What kind of work is that, my friend?
well, I'm in the office equipment business.
Office equipment business.
Currently with Data Flow. here
Is
in
that
town.
like a real thing? Because I know you mafia types.
Yeah, I know.
Like the Godfather sold olive oil, but did he really sell olive oil?
Yeah, it's like I tell
Because you
every.
said office equipment, that could be anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be a gun, it could be bulletproof windshields.
Yeah. No, so I tell people a lot of times because they say the same thing. Because my last name is DiVincenzi, and
DiVincenzi.
and I do look Italian, I think, maybe a little Irish, and I would not be sitting in their office trying to sell them some office copier if I was in the mafia.
Right,
tell you.
right.
Or,
That's exactly something a mafia guy would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't do no crime. Hey, what are you talking about? Get out of here with that. So you do pretty good in sales, right? You do pretty good, right?
Yeah, I've had a good run in sales, man.
You pushing about what? 100K? year?
Oh,
Close?
What do you mean?
100? Doing about 100K a year?
Oh no,
People need to hear this, man.
How much I make or what?
Yeah, you doing about pushing 100K
I do all right
sometimes?
money wise. Yeah, I don't want people to, but I'm in the latter stages of working.
You're a closer. You're a closer.
I'm a closer. Yeah. Been known for that. Yeah. Right. So I have done and had a lot of fun in the industry I'm in. I woke up. Let me tell you this. I woke up in Bermuda, right?
Bermuda.
When I had 60 days clean.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I had won a trip for being the salesperson of the year. Thank God.
After 60 days?
60 days?
Well, no, I did the whole year before. They count the whole year.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I worked.
I worked. Damn.
Look, I worked and I used at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not like in the client, but.
Yeah, you're a functioning.
But check this out. So I wake up. They fly into Bermuda. Bermuda's a long flight, man.
Right.
So you fly into. I think we flew into Atlanta, and then we all got on a plane. I mean, all of us that were in the group of the company that I worked for.
Your cousin Vito and them.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, okay.
And so they flew us into Bermuda. Now, if you come into Bermuda, it looks like a spot. It looks like a little spot in the ocean, right? And then you're in this big old plane, right? And they coming in like this, and it's all crazy. And so we get into Bermuda, get into the hotel, wake up in the morning, and you look out the window, and you think you're in paradise.
Wow.
I swear to God.
You think you died, huh?
All the roofs in Bermuda are the same color. Right. And then you got these boats sitting in the harbor,
Yeah.
Sailboats and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm from Stockton. I don't know too much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway,
I'm
check this out.
imagine.
So now I'm down in the city of Hamilton in Bermuda, right?
Hamilton.
So it's a big city.
I spend my summers there.
No. So check this out though. So I look on the corner, man. There's this dude standing there with this girl, and it looks just like any corner in Oakland, San Francisco, Stockton, downtown at the time. Right?
Trapping.
Yeah, it's a trap, right? So you got the pimp,
Yeah.
whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what's going on over there. I'm on this moped, and I'm
Man,
thinking,
we started out with sales
I
man of the year. Now we're talking about prostitutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they got crack here too. I'm in trouble, man.
Yeah.
I got 60 days clean, and I'm gonna get stuck in. And on the island of Bermuda, they got a prison on one side of the island, right?
Nice.
It's this brick, old-looking prison, right?
Yeah, like Nelson Mandela was locked up. Huh?
So anyway, scared me, and so I beelined back to the. So I went back to the hotel, and that night, I went down to the hospital and went to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting.
Wow!
Right?
Wow!
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the hooker though?
I don't know.
I don't
know. I didn't. I was there. My wife.
Worried about her.
My wife was on the back. Yeah, my wife was on the back of the car. I'm just saying that's what. I don't know if that was the truth or not. All I know is it looked like that. You know what I'm saying? It looked like the same thing you would see on the streets of Stockton or any other
Are you
city.
saying there's hookers in Stockton?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Anyway, so long story short, right? So I show up to the meeting, and sure enough, the dude raises his hand for 24 hours or something like that, and starts talking about. So I knew for sure that that's what was going on down there. Yeah. And so it's kind of scared me a little bit. Got back to the hotel, and I stayed clean during that period of time and all that. But it was I'm just saying, my life has changed dramatically since then.
And how many years clean do you have now?
29.
29 years.
Freaking
no
amazing.
Crack, no rooftops, no hookers
29.
and pimps.
Yeah.
You're doing great. Hey, but so you sponsor a lot of people?
I sponsor some people. Yeah.
Like you help out a lot of guys, right?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah,
I know
I try
you
to
know
help out.
everybody I know.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what has been the benefits of recovery, of being in recovery? What's the benefits?
Well, so I would say the most important thing is that I've been able to raise. I had the 3 kids when I got to recovery.
Niños.
3. Nicole, Megan, and Bobby.
Nicole,
Then
Megan,
I got
and Bobby.
remarried,
Total white names.
and I inherited her son, Michael, and I had 3 other boys. So I have a total of 7 kids, and I've been able to stay clean, raise those kids.
Nice.
Watch them go to college.
Pay for their college?
I just got done paying for one of their college. That's a traumatic experience.
Wow.
Paying for college.
Wow.
But Nicole's, works here in town, and
I met Nicole. She's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nicole.
Yeah.
What up?
and Megan's a nurse, and she's married to a police officer. I don't know if I should say that, but anyway. And Bobby, good kid, and yeah. So I would say been married to my wife Elizabeth.
Shout out to Liz. What up, Liz?
22 years.
22 years, man.
We live right
That's
here.
Too long, man.
We live right here on the Miracle Mile. We lived here for that long.
You guys live on the Miracle Mile?
Yeah.
You guys are rich.
Yeah.
Italian people. I got to drive all the way from Southside.
Yeah.
Sierra Vista in the house.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So yeah, man.
I've seen your house though. Your house is worth some money now because you bought your house back in the day, right?
Yeah. But
you live right there on Miracle Mile.
I raised all those kids on that house. I ain't making. Yeah. So, I got a good deal on that.
How does
house.
it feel being rich?
I'm not rich.
You seem like you are.
I'm rich. I'm rich in people.
Okay.
Like you. Yeah, I'm rich in people, man. The money is, I've had it and then I've lost it. I used to be a partner in a copier company here in town.
I remember that.
Yeah.
All my friends worked for you.
Yeah.
They never went to work.
Yeah. And that came to an end. And the beauty about being in recovery is it really doesn't matter what happens. It's my reaction to what happens, right?
Wow,
so
that's deep.
It's so as soon as problems arise, it's important that I get right into the solution. And if I do that, then I don't really even feel the tilt. So when I walked into that company that day, and all the money was moved, right?
At the company you used to own, you walked in, and all the money got moved.
I was a partner in the company. I was a minority partner.
Like, wow.
I look at the account; it was zeroed out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went in and I asked my partner's significant other, hey, where's the money at? Where's it at? You know what I mean?
Where was your partner at?
He was at home.
Okay.
Yeah,
Changing the money. He was mobile out.
Yeah. So I think most people would have freaked out. I did a little bit, but I just rolled with it, man. And that's where the program kicks in, right? So what I did is this: I went to the bank. I had a bunch of payroll checks, and I was with Alex that day. And
shout out to Alex.
And I stood up at the counter and I offered the payroll check, and she says, "Well, there's no money in the account."
Ooh,
and she goes, "Mr. DiVincenzi, would you like me to move the money?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, they left the money in there. Cool." So I moved enough money back to cash all the paychecks I had, and I just I waited the thing out. In business, right? The guy with the most money usually wins.
Right.
Right. Whoever has the best attorney, most money.
Right. Hear that, kids?
Big
bank, take little bank.
I went and saw an attorney, and the attorney said, "Hey, look, you don't have the money to fight them, so just go do something else." And so that's what I did, And in my industry, it's like the sports industry, right?
Yeah.
You get moved around a little bit.
Yeah.
They do what they want to do. They own the companies, right?
Right.
And after that whole deal with owning that company, payroll, man, I don't even want to do that no more.
Yeah. So now you're just a top-notch salesman.
Yeah, I just sell.
Top notch.
Just sell.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Let's go back to the hooker and the pimp. What was the pimp wearing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying. Just see the picture, man. You know what I mean? It's basically the same you'd see anywhere else. You'd think you're in a place like that and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
So what's your hopes for the future, man, for your life? What does it look like for Tim, the community? And this is all about hope and all about...
So the community is important. I mean, I've in the midst of all that, I've done a lot of what I would consider nonprofit communities type stuff. I've coached, so I'm known as, I was in my car and I was trying to get into this parking place in front of my office the other day, and this gal wouldn't move, and then she kept, and then she gets out of her car and she goes, "Aren't you Tim? Did you coach me in 7th grade for basketball or something like that?"
You're old.
And she says, "I'm Rita," and I'm like, I can't remember my kid's name.
She got one eyebrow?
No.
Oh.
No, but I'm just saying, man. So I've had a lot of, so I got clean, and I've had all kinds of good stuff happen, right? I coached high school baseball. I spent a lot of time with those kids, man. I would coach at Franklin, and
we know the future.
You still coach, don't you?
I'm not coaching right now. We were I'm going to coach that softball team.
Yeah. Me and Reggie's going to join.
Hey, you guys going to get on the team? All right, yeah, we're going to play.
Handball.
Yeah. So the fun part about that is so I would sit in the dugout, right? And I would start to have a conversation with some of these boys and find out, what's going on in their life, where they live at, what's happening at their home, and you can change the direction of some of these young people's lives by just spending a little time with them, right? Nice. And I'm not saying that nothing special or nothing like that, but I just enjoy doing that, man. I've got a kid that I ran into that played. I went out to the Oak Park baseball fields, and that ended up in that league for 10 years. And this kid played baseball for me here and then over there, and I saw him at what's the hotel on Marsh Lane? The Hilton. Mm-hmm. And the kid's getting ready to be a doctor.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
I mean, I'm not saying
Right.
I just had a little piece of that.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get a little piece of that.
You most definitely had a little bit to do with that.
A lot of people, you help a lot of people out, man. This, don't sell yourself short, You being a good role model. I mean, coaches, I'm going to tell you a little story about coaches. When I was a kid growing up in South Stockton, Southeast, right? They had sign-ups. I hang out at the rec center, the community center at Kennedy Park, and they had a flyer to sign up for karate lessons, right? And they give you a free karate suit, right? So I signed up and I got this karate suit. I put on my little black karate suit. I put my belt on. I felt all super important. Walked over there barefooted like Hashimoto, And turns out that the karate teacher was a straight crackhead. He had us fighting each other the first day. We was like, yeah! He didn't even teach us no karate. He was fighting us like chickens. He was fighting us like chickens, man. Oh, shout out to Kennedy Park, but that crackhead had us fighting. Hey, then I see this dude hanging out downtown at Mariani's. I was like, man, that's my karate instructor, man. That was crazy. So you being a coach, man, and you being clean and sober, you don't know the impact that you make on these young people's lives, man.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. Yeah. I would buy these two brothers that, because I wanted to win too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like winning too.
Right.
So I would try to stack my team as best I could.
Because Mafia bets on games.
Yeah. So I had these two brothers, man. I'd always be buying them shoes. And, yeah. But good times.
That's illegal
man.
in sports, isn't it?
Nah, it's we're talking about recreation stuff.
Isn't there like NAACP rules against that?
You just can't buy the actual players.
Yeah.
Right.
But I gotta tell you though, so I got a temperament side, right? I don't know what it is, Italian side or whatever. But like if the opposing coach was acting up, man, I would be looking at him and I would tell him stuff like, "Hey, man, you keep roughing up my kid, I'm gonna come over and knock you out." And they look at me like I'm crazy, because I am. Yeah, I never did it though.
That's passion. Hey, man, well, I want to appreciate you coming out to the show. This has been seriously funny. Give it up for Tim Gianvincenzo one more time. Yeah. Appreciate my co-host Dre.
What's up? Peace.
Dre's in the house. Next week we're gonna have I think we have Gabe Robles or we have Sharp Cuts. I gotta look on who we have next week, but we have some more people coming in next week. And remember Thug Dork Comedy Bash presented by Kelly's Angels, June 22nd. We already sold 30 rows. We're selling rows. 8 or more, you get your row reserved. Come out and support a great cause. All right, peace out.
That was quick.
So can I buy one ticket or you got to buy a row? Yeah.